Now we're live.
Okay, so hi everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'll just give 2 more minutes so we can wait for everybody who would be joining. Then we can start. All right. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today, and welcome to another episode of Kibana in Action. This one is for supply chain, and today we are going to show you how the raw operational data can be transformed into powerful real-time dashboards to deliver some smarter supply chain decisions. So, for that, hi, I'm Dhruvi, and I'm working as a pre-sales engineer at Hyperflex. And here with me is my colleague Parivesh, who is an Elastic certified engineer and is working with Hyperflex. So he'll walk you through today on how Elastic and Kibana can bring visibility, speed, and clarity to the supply chain operation. So in next few minutes, I'll just quickly introduce about Hyperflex, the value we bring, and then we can jump on to the exciting part that is seeing Kibana in action. Yeah. So at Hyperflex, we are Elastic certified partners founded by Elastic engineers. So Elastic here is not something that we just use. We specialize in that and we offer end-to-end Elastic services from consulting, migrations, managed services and implementation. So whether it's from building from scratch or optimizing an existing cluster or migrating from another platform to Elasticsearch, we support the entire life cycle. At Hyperflex, we are a team of 21 certified Elastic partners, 5 certified Elastic engineers, and 16 certified observability engineers. So that means we design solution. It's architected correctly from day one to make it scalable, optimized, and production ready from the first day itself. So Hyperflex operates globally from having an office in New York, Alberta, and Pune. So this gives us ability to support customers across different time zones with strong technical coverage and continuous engagement. Now, why you chose Elastic? So, firstly, we only do Elastic. So, that focus makes us much more sharper and faster in solving complex Elastic challenges. Next is our engineers are trusted by Elastic themselves. And most importantly, we build and support production grade system. So, in terms of impact, we have helped clients save over $75,000 in just 6 months by optimizing their search performance and unifying observability. We have also reduced search latency by around 50% and operational cost around 57% through strategic Elasticsearch updates. Apart from that, Hyperflex also offers some in-house tools that we have specially created for all this production grade challenge. So one of that is this our Splunk to Elastic migration tool. This tool automates the field mapping, converts the SPL to Elastic SQL, it migrates our alerts and provides all the pre-migration health report that are required. Apart from this, we do have another tool that is our Elastic Seamless Upgrade. This helps you in all the pre-check and validation, snapshot before changes, one-click upgrade, and supports a large-scale cluster with even thousands of nodes. Okay, So now that you have a quick overview of who we are and how we support Elastic ecosystem, let's move to the exciting part. So today, Parivesh will demo how Kibana can bring real-time operational intelligence to supply chain environments from tracking, inventory, and all the other things. So with that, let's jump into the Kibana in action. Over to you, Parivesh.
All right. Thank you, Dhruvi, for such a wonderful introduction. And for the rest, guys, please check out our website. So you will find more information there. Let me just quickly share my screen and we can jump right into the session. Okay. Yeah. So today, as Dhruvi said, we'll be looking into how we can create some insightful uh, dashboards and visualizations from our supply chain data. And the most important part of this is how you can make informative decisions. You don't need to have look into your bytes of data, like millions of records. You just have some beautiful UI in front of you. You can see its summary and you can take your insightful decisions out of it. But so yeah, it's Kibana in action. We have already covered this. So let me just quickly cover the agenda. First disclaimer, whatever we are doing today is not only related, like limited to supply chain. You can apply this framework to any of your data. So if you guys know about it, Elastic Stack is very famous in terms of observability. How we do that, we just need your data into Elasticsearch, and then we offer some Elastic offers some really good features that you can utilize to make your data into a really beautiful visualizations, and you can create some alerts out of it. So today we are taking supply chain as a reference, but you can use the same framework to retail, to sales, anything. So how our session will look like today. First, we'll take a brief introduction about Kibana. If you're following our series from the start, you would have a good understanding of Kibana as of now. But folks who are joining for the first time, we'll do a little bit introduction of Kibana, what it is and what it can do. Then we see an overview of the supply chain challenges that supply chain operations teams would face into day-to-day life. But as I said, it's related to supply chain, but not related to that. These challenges can also be seen in terms of retail, sales, and etc. Uh, Most important thing for Kibana to be in action is that you need an Elasticsearch cluster and your data needs to be in Elastic. So Elastic offers variety of data ingestion strategies. Today, our focus will be how we can sync our SQL databases to our Elastic so that you don't need to do any application changes and do some code changes logic so that you can drive your data to Elastic. You can have it use your legacy code, have your SQL database as your main data stores, and you can just sync your data to Elastic and have Kibana in action. We'll see the SQL connectors, which is the offering for our data ingestion strategies. We'll see the overview, we'll see them in action, and then there will be a demo for our dashboards. So yeah, that will be agenda. Really excited for that, and let's just dive into it. So as I said, what is Kibana? So Kibana is a user interface offered by Elastic. If you are familiar with Elastic, Elastic is a data store and it is operated on RESTful APIs. So basically, you don't actually need Kibana to interact with Elasticsearch, but this is a web interface that Elastic provides, where you can use all the functionalities and just by clicks and using your user experiences interfaces. What it can do, you can explore your data. So whatever data you have into your Elasticsearch, you can explore it using a tool called Discover. We will see it in our demo. Then what you can do, you can create some interactive dashboards, right? This is the main highlights that you can convert your millions of records into some beautiful dashboards that you can just see, and at your first glance you see what's happening out there. You can have your data uh, serving as a for your real-time monitoring. We offer alerts for that. So you can create some alerts. If anything goes wrong, you will be getting alert, and you can automate it also what to perform after this alert. So as operational insights, visualization creation, these are all related, but overview it's that uh, you can use, so Kibana is offering a very good data analytics platform for you. You will see, you can convert your data, have it analyzed, and do some insightful decisions out of it. Uh, so yeah, now without wasting any time, let's talk about the challenges supply chain feels and experience on a day-to-day operations. Again, it's not only related to that. It can be, be seen in any sector. But the main challenge that I feel that in a supply chain operation is that your data is scattered across system. So if a company have its own full supply chain observability, what it faces is that the data is scattered. So what it means, you see, you will manage your inventory data and all into a separate warehouse. The team which is all responsible for operation of your warehouses, your inventory, your data for your inventory will be there. Of course, you can have it into a shared database, but again, you will have a different UIs in top of that. You manage all this. Your data is scattered. It is capable of creating the reports and all, but also it causes some delays because it takes time to have it together and create some insights out of it. Then you said limited real-time visibility. That's what we have just talked about, because having this data scattered into multiple data stores can cause some latency while you're working with that. Slow reporting life cycle, again the same thing, because again scattered. So basically everything is causing by your data is scattered. We will be syncing our data into a data store which is Elasticsearch. All your data will come into Elastic, and then because you have one data store, you can call it a data warehouse in terms of data analytics, and then you can have your real-time monitoring, and you can have everything in just very fast and speedful. So with that, how Kibana helps you? So as I said, since Kibana is backed by your Elasticsearch cluster and your data is in one place, it can track your real-time shipment because your data will be synced from all your data store into Elasticsearch in real time. So you can have your shipment tracked in real time. You can have your inventory monitored, uh, in a very real time, in a live fashion. So even if you have one order taken, and you can say you have take care of one order, it will be real time updates. Okay, now you will have this much amount in your inventory. So if you need to take care of any reorders, or you need to procure any raw materials to your managers, everything that you can see live, and you can make your decisions out of it. And anomaly detection is one of the great features that Kibana offers. So you can use machine learning models that is come out of the box with Elasticsearch and Kibana, and that can help you in terms of anomaly detection, what it can. So with me, anomaly detection means you can identify the outliers, and using that you can have the insights like any spikes in orders, in based on your past like data trends, you can predict your future trends. So you can see that, okay, a good holiday is coming, and that might be that you will see some surge in your sales, and you need to be prepared for that. So how much you have in your inventory? If not, you still have time. Make sure that you have enough products to serve your customers. So these kind of insights you can get from having your Kibana sitting on top of your data store, which is Elasticsearch, and see everything in real time. So again, how it helps, it makes you able to make faster decision making. Why? Because you don't need to scroll through every record. You just see a graph, a good visualizations, and you'll see, okay, what is going on. Let's do that. Transparency, everything is visualized. You can have it shared with your stakeholders. Everybody who has been access to that can see what's going on, and you don't need to have reporting cycle, very large reporting cycle. You just need to have it shared with them, and they will know what's going on. So, data ingestion strategy, that's the main part of today's demo. So as I said, Elastic offers variety of data ingestion strategy. First is obviously you can use Elasticsearch as your database. So your application can write directly into your Elasticsearch. Then you can have this shippers that Elastic offers, which we call beats and Elastic agents. You can that will help your data to be lifted from one source and put it into your Elasticsearch cluster. Then you can migrate your data from your existing data store to your Elasticsearch. So these are the options we have, but we are talking about supply chains and we are talking about legacy systems, and we all know that all the legacy systems are powered by some SQL databases because that was the trend back then. So the good news is that you don't need to migrate everything to Elasticsearch, not have to change anything your systems and your code. What you can do, you can sync your SQL databases to our Elasticsearch cluster, and then whatever changes that you are seeing in your RDBMS or SQL databases, that will be updated live into your Elasticsearch cluster, and then you can have your Kibana seated on top of that and give you some real-time monitoring and updates. So how do we do that? For this purpose, we offer this SQL connectors. Now, what are these? If you have been following Elastic Stack, first we offer, like Elastic offers this connector for Logstash, which is JDBC connector, which utilizes the Oracle JDBC connectors to sync your SQL databases into your Elasticsearch. This SQL connectors are refined versions of that. We call it contained connectors. So you configure this SQL connectors. Not you can do it using APIs, but you can have it use configured using Kibana. And once it is configured, you can configure it to have it synced. Either you want it to be synced every 5 seconds, anything you want, what works for you. Ideally, it should be depending upon your use cases. If it's a shipment tracking, you need to do it very often. If it's your inventory, a slower sync can work because it will cause some uh, operational capacity for that. So you can have it some delays there. So according to use cases, you can use it, but it is capable of doing some real-time sync without with a minimal latency, or it can do some daily sync. So you can do whatever you can do with cron sequences. Um, what it does, it simplifies your pipeline development, it reduces your ETL efforts, and it maintains the data freshness. What this terms means. So before this connectors, you need to have your shippers in place. You need to configure some inputs and outputs. So you need to maintain a separate, you can call a machine or VM, so that where um, your shippers will lives and it will do. Uh, with SQL connectors, Elastic is offering managed as well as self-managed connectors. What it means, if you do not want to maintain any infrastructure, you can just utilize the managed connector. Elastic will spun off a machine and everything will be there. Of course, this feature is available in cloud only for the managed one. If you have Elastic cluster uh, self-managed, then you need to have your connectors running in some self-managed machine. So with that said, enough of the words, and let's quickly see how you can configure a connector so that we can have our data from our SQL database to be shipped in a real time in our Elasticsearch cluster. So for this, let me change my screen and So 1 second, let me stop sharing for a bit. All right, let me share again. So we have seen, so this, what you are seeing right now on your screen is the uh, home interface for Kibana. This view can be different for you. It depends on the 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 view you are utilizing for a namespace. So right now I am in classic one. But if you are utilizing Kibana and Elastic based on your observability and search, it can change based on the view. But it doesn't matter. Vue is just an abstraction. On top of it, you will have all the features that Kibana offers anyways. So let's say you have, before we move forward, if anyone wants to do it on your own, Elastic do offer the free trial for its Elastic Cloud services for 15 days. So you can have it cluster in your cloud, in Elastic's cloud, and you can play with it for 15 days without any cost. So yeah, that's just one node. And so now let's quickly jump to our connectors. So for that, you just need to type connectors, and you need to go to content connectors. Actually, yep. So once you are in content connectors, so this one I was configuring before this demo just for the testing purposes. But once you have it, you can just go ahead and create a new connector. Before we do any configurations, I would like to draw your attention towards this two options. So as I said, in Elastic Managed, you do not have to maintain any infra, any machines. Elastic will take care of the infra, but this is only available in cloud. Uh, for this demo, we will be using self-managed. Why? Because my database is running in my local Docker environment. If we go with Elastic Managed, we need our database to be accessed over internet, which is not the case right now. So that's why we are using self-managed, but it's the similar process for configuring both of them. So yeah, now let's just quickly, uh, see the list of our connectors we offer. We'll be using Postgres one. Let's just quickly check it. So it's not just limited to SQL one. The connectors are offered for variety of the sources out there. So first one is Azure Blob Storage. Then you have Dropbox, you have Gmail. So if you want to have your emails and wants to have some insights out, you can do that as well. You have Jira. You can sync your Jira with your Elasticsearch, have your insights created based on your tickets and your scrums at board, etc. And here what we are talking about, we have this SQL offering. So we have the connector out of the box for Microsoft SQL, MySQL, and one should be there for Postgres. These are the three main giants in terms of SQL database. So we have out of the box connectors for them. And again, for S3, Salesforce, ServiceNow. So variety of connectors are there. Uh, you might see some technical previews, what it means that these features are there, but right now it's in preview. It might be removed in some upcoming versions, or once it is tested, it will be generally available. So if you're seeing anything on technical preview, you can use it, but it's not recommended to use it in the production use cases for now, because it's not sure that it may be removed in future. But without any technical review, you can use it in production grades as well. So let's quickly you select our Postgres SQL connector, which we'll be using. Once you have selected your connector type, you need to provide a connector name. You can have it any intuitive name. So for us, what we'll be doing, we'll be syncing our orders table, which is there in my SQL database. And so let's go for orders, SC for supply chain, connectors. It looks good. So once you have done, you need to click on next. So now is the main thing. So what it does when you click next, it created an index for you. So whatever data you have in your SQL database, and we will be selecting a table very quickly. It will be synced with this index. Now index is the similar entity than for table in Elasticsearch, right? And so your index is created, your connector is created, and your API key is created. So it has so Elasticsearch managed, the authentication part. It created an API key. You can save it, copy it from here because you won't be able to see it next time. So it's it's good practice to copy it, have it in your some secret store. And this API key has all the required permission that is required for this connector to work properly. Uh, Once you have this, you will be, yeah. So there are two options that you can utilize to have your self-managed connector running. So one is run with Docker, which is the 99% of cases because containerization is the industrial standard right now. But this connector is actually a Python package, so you can directly fork it sorry, clone it from your GitHub and run it on your any machine. But we will be going with the standard practice, which is a Docker container. Now, once you have it, it will give you some uh, commands that you need to run on your machine, which already have Docker connected and running, right? So we'll just go this and let's go to terminal and yeah. So you can copy this and just hit enter, right? Let's see. Is my Docker running? I need to check it. Yep. All right. So it finishes quickly. Let's see if we have our connector in here. So let's see, it's checking for the data. All right. Yeah. So it's for just the config file. Now we need to run container. So I already would have this. So now it will spin off one connector, like a Docker container for me with our connector package running inside it. And let's check our connector is connected, right? And now you need to just go and do next. So this is the main part now, and why we are not going with the managed one, because now you need to give your database host URL, your port, your database, your DB user name and password, your database name, and in the schema. For us, it will be public, and the list of tables that you want to have in sync. So before doing this, so how you can do this, you can, so let me quickly fill up some dummy values here that I have. Second. Yep. So since my Docker, my database is running internally in the Docker network itself, my host URL will be like this. But for you, it will be a private URL or public URL using which you can access your databases. So my username is Postgres. My password is this. My database name is stride db. So what the data which we'll be using for this dummy purpose is basically for a shoe company. It's an imaginary company named Stride, and we are right now syncing the orders of the Stride in from our SQL databases to our Elasticsearch. So my schema is public, and for my table names, this will be orders. So if you want, you can have SSL verification. Since it's a demo, I am not doing this, but if it's there, so you need to provide the SSL certificate path so that the SSL authentication can be done. If you are utilizing some self signed certificates, in terms of Elastic Cloud, you need to upload it to your Cloud Console using Cloud Bundles, and then you will be provided a path that you need to provide here. So just keep that in mind. Uh, yeah, we are good. We can just, okay, why it is not allowing us. So yeah, let's save the configuration and then just hit next. Okay, so we have our connector ready. Let's go quickly to that. We we created this. Once we have it created, you can do some more work onto it. Right now, you cannot see any documents. You cannot see any mapping because there's no data in our index as of now. Our connector is there, it's live, but it's not performed any sync right now. So which is why which we can do. So you can define some sync rules, as I said, and if you can go there, you can go to advanced, you can provide actually a SQL query here. And let me go here. You can see the documentation. Yep. So in this way, you can, let's just copy this. We definitely will not be using it anyways. But if you can go here, you can remove this, and you can, this way you can define some sync rules. This sync rules will be use when you will be syncing your data from your SQL DB to your Elasticsearch. What you can do for table like this, you will run this query. So you can provide a table and then query. If you want everything from the table to be synced, you go with asterisk queries. But if you want some limited data to be transferred, you can use SQL. So this any SQL query is supported here. It just needs to be, it will be run in your source DBs. It will have the data fetched and then dump it into Elasticsearch. So you can do that. We'll skipping it for now, and then let's go for scheduling. If you want it to be synced every day, let's say every minute, and so by default it's offering for 5 minutes. So this is the least you can go. I think yeah, 5 minutes. So your data will be synced 5 minutes, and you can sync anything, your inventory tables, your orders, your shipment details, everything can be synced. You just need to create your separate indices for this. So a best practice would be, if you have a table or DB for your inventories, create one connector per DB and have it everything synced. So yeah, now we have, so we don't want to do it every time right now. We just confirm this, and if I go down here, we can sync right now whatever is there. And here, I'm not gonna do this because I already have the data and it will be redundancy here. But this is the whole process of creating a connector. As I said, it's not for SQL. You can do it for the process for every connector will be same. Just the configuration part will be changed based on what type of connector you are using. Once you have this, you can have it synced. If you see, I have this orders connector already in place. I have synced it. We have 2,500 documents there. So let's just quickly go into this. And if I go to documents, you can see all these documents were there in my SQL databases. We can actually uh, have it seen somewhere here. Yeah, it will take some time, but yeah, I have it in table. All my document data is been shipped to Elasticsearch. And if you see the so let's expand one of this. If you see the naming of your um fields is actually consolidated of your schema. So it first keep your schema, then your table name, and then your actual field name. So in your database, the attribute name was order underscore ID. This prefix was added by the connector. And so it's a good thing. It's not causing anything, but if you want to have this removed, if you want the same one-to-one mapping between your field names in your SQL and your Elasticsearch, you can have an ingest pipeline placed with the connector, and you can have it. How you can do it? You just need to create an ingest pipeline and have it connected to the index that is created. So yeah, that's it. This is one. So with that being said, so we are done with our connecting. So now we have our data. Let's quickly jump on to one tool which I talked about in the start is Discover. So once you have your data into Elastic, you can explore it using your Kibana without creating any dashboards and all. You can just see it. Uh, for seeing your data, you first need to create a data view. What data view is? It's a regex-based pattern that you need to create to identify your indexes. So when you create a data view, it will matches to a certain indices based on how open you can say how universal your pattern is. If it is matching to only one index, it will be one-to-one mapping. And so if you want to do that, just keep your index name as your index pattern and it will be one-to-one mapping. But if you want to do some wildcards, it can match to series of indexes. And once when you select this data view, you will see the data of only those indices. So that's the whole crux of using a data view. Uh, if we want, we can create an orders database. We will see orders. So it will be content orders because that's what naming convention for our index is. So it's content orders, and this is the two of them is actually matching this pattern. This one we created for the demo, but it does not have any data. So this will work. And so yeah, this is we can how we can define the pattern. Then you just need to select a time field. If you want it, you can just opt out of it that you don't want to use any time filters. How this is helpful, when you use it, you can do your sorting based on your time. So yeah, but as I said, I already have this data view created, which is straight orders, right? So we will be using the same data view to see it. So let's go to Discover. In the left top, you will see, okay, one second, you'll see to select one data view. Here we will select our stride hyphen orders, and you'll see whatever we have in our orders table is being synced here, right? So I have this much of data. This was in my SQL databases using rows in column. Right now, if I expand it one document, it will be in JSON form. So Elastic, you like store data into JSON format, and all of the attributes are there because I have used the asterisk query when I was syncing this. But if you want to filter it out, you can have it in your SQL query that select only these attributes. So you can see the order shoe model is urban track, it's a dummy model, then your batch, then your database. This is actually what, so we have configured the stride DB and this is showing us what database this data is from. And yeah, pretty much this, you can see what was the carrier for the orders. Uh, the status of order is delivered. So we'll be using this to track our uh, orders in our visualization. But pretty much you can do anything that you want here without, even if you don't want to have your dashboard, you can just apply some filters. So let's say I just want orders to be, I want to see only orders which are delivered. So you can just search for the field and you can just add here to the column. And if you see just like this, you can add a filter. So you will be seeing only the data which the orders which are, oh, I selected for return, my bad. But yeah, it's the same thing. You can have it for delivered as well. So if you, I would really suggest you to have your, free trial cloud deployment created and explore, uh, discover there's a lot you can do. You can apply filters, you can whatever you are seeing right now, you can export it, right? So it will be in CSV. You can save this session, you can save this filter, whatever you apply. So you will be using this. the same saved search. And so, yeah, and we have already covered this part in our previous sessions. It was just a quick intro for Discover, but if you want to have Discover in depth, we have covered this in our previous installment of Kibana in action. So please do check it out. But yeah, with that being said, let's again jump back to our slides. So yeah. So now we have seen our connectors in application. Uh, Kibana Discovers enable you to explore raw data, searching and filtering. We have seen that field analysis, time-based exploration. If you have any time series, you can just, if you can go ahead back here, if you see, right? So you have this time field, which is ordered or updated.
Seems
So if
like
you
it.
So yeah, if you just wanted to sort based on old to new, or new to old, you can do it. So you this way your data is sorted using the timestamp or time field. So that's what you can do, and that's the significance of having a time field defined in your data. Right? So yep, and now we have seen Kibana Discover in action, right? And yeah, we have already seen this. Now, once you have everything, so now we have seen that you have your data into Elasticsearch. You can explore it using Discover, but again, even in the Discover, it's just records. So it's not very intuitive. It is good for engineers for debugging purposes when you are creating your uh, solutions, but we definitely want some beautiful visualizations created using which if I just have one glance to it, I can know what's happening, and I can uh, extract all the required information from it. So Kibana offers this various type of visualizations. It's charts, maps, tables, everything. We'll see few of them in actions, but there's a whole list. You can check it out in the documentations. But yeah, and we do have this lens visualization. What we have, you don't need to have any codes and everything to create this visualization. You just need to drag and drop, do some field changes and configuration, and voila, you have your beautiful visualization. So yeah, with that being said, I think this is the last part of it as well. So let's see how you can create some visualizations out of it. So for that, I would again need to go to my deployments, and I'll go here, I'll select Visual Library, create a visualization, use lens, and I am here. See, with that being said, right? So now I am in so Discover is the one way to explore. Now Lens is the other functionality which is offered by Kibana. Here you can just drag and drop and start creating your visualization. Before that, there's two things that you need to keep in mind. First is this time filter. So so when you have this time filter and time series filter applied, you will be seeing only the data for this much of time period. So just keep in mind, if it's very long, it will take some time to have your data refresh and have your data search and all. So based on your use cases, you have this time frame selected. Why it is important? Because your visualizations will be created on top of only this data, which is being filtered by your time filter. Then again, in the left, you need to select your data view once again, because that's how we filter all the data which is being residing into Elastic to a separate group. And we need only a specific data from our specific index. So data views really help us with there. So we'll be selecting the same stride orders data view. We have this much of fields to be used, and now let's just create one beautiful visualization. So what we will be doing, we'll have our shoe model, like the orders are distributed by our model. So for that, we need our shoe model field to be used. So I'm just dragging it and applying it to our horizontal axis. Right now we need one more field, which is the IDs, because we need orders. So if it's the orders underscore ID, we have this, right? And you can just drag and drop it to the vertical axis, and you can see just by doing this too, you have a visualization created. But okay, right now I'm just getting this. Okay, for my this model, I have this many of orders in last 18 days. Have this in mind. If we can increase this filter, it will be more. But the data I have is only 8 days older, so that's why we are using this filter. But in your real time use case, in real world use case, you can have it. Check it for monthly, weekly, daily, whatever you like. So, but yeah, we still want to have more from this insight, right? I can see I have this many of orders, but what I can do more. So I can break this order down using the status, right? What's the status of my order? So if we check for status, right, it can see it is delivered or it is returned. So Uh, okay, pretty bad for a company if have this much data, like this much of orders returned. But again, it's a dummy data. But yeah, so you can have now just by a quick glance, you can see, okay, in last 18 days, for my this model, I get this many of orders and this many of return. If you want to change it, you can break it down using some other fields, right? So let me just quickly remove this one. Okay, just one second. Just delete this breakdown and just use it a different one, which is channel, right? So if I do this and if I go and increase the number of values, so this number of values is actually for your breakdown. If we have this three, so even if we have more breakdowns, you will see only the max one. So you can have 10, so you'll see more. And for if you're for beauty purposes, if you want to change your palettes, you can do that, and there's a lot you can do. But yeah, now if you see, you can see this many orders I have read, like I have get, and out of which 1,500 is from Amazon, some from Walmart, eBay, offline stores. Why? What this is telling me? If some of my shoe is actually performing very well on all the platform. So whatever marketing strategy my marketing team is doing, it's good doing good. So this is for orders. You can do so many insights. We have synced only orders table right now, but I already have one dashboard created. So before showing you the whole dashboard, just to have it recapped. What you need to do if you have your data in your SQL databases, either you are working with supply chain or retails and everything. First thing first, you need an Elasticsearch cluster. How you can do it? Either you can self-manage it using your own infrastructure, or you can utilize the Elastic Cloud hosted services, which is offered by Elasticsearch, which is a SaaS service. You do not need to maintain any infrastructure. You just pay for what you use. So, and you can check out on Elastic's official websites. You can have your free trial so that you can have a taste of what Elastic can offer, right? And once you have your Elasticsearch cluster ready, you need to have your connectors in place so that your data will be synced directly to your Elasticsearch cluster. You need to create your data views, and then you can create some visualizations out of it. Of course, in production grade solutions, there are a few more components that are in place, which is your ingest pipelines if you want to do some transformations out of it. But so yeah, we can all of this. If you want to know more in depth, check out the official documentation, and you can also reach out to us. We also offer the consulting for your Elastic solutions, so we can have more depth chit chat there. But for now, for this demo, this is how you can do it. It's a high level overview. And now let me just quickly show you the dashboard the kind of dashboard that you can have once you have everything. So this is like the complete dashboard. It's not actually complete. You can have it anything that you want, what makes sense to you. But let me just quickly walk through the dashboard that I have created. This is my top selling model. So this is a kind of visualization that Kibana offers. We call it cloud. So you will see the more number of orders for which model, the bigger its name will be. So Urban Trek is our biggest selling shoe model, right, for the stride. So yeah, then the next one is this Trail Master and Cloud Walkers. You can see the reliability heat map, what it is showing. So this is your number of day filter. So it's for suppliers. So if I go and hover on one thing, first thing is the raw material category, which is your synthetic mesh. Supplier name is this, and average lead time, what it is. Once I have make an order to my this supplier for my raw material, idea like on an average it will take 10 days to deliver it to me. So if I'm seeing some bottlenecks on for some reasons, I can see which of them is. So see, this one is actually taking 38 days, which is, and also the color coding is in that way that it's in slightly danger zone. You can configure your color palettes, but see, you can see it's taking average of 38 days. Maybe it's time to change your supply. So then you have average batch size in your factories, your model SKUs. This is actually pretty good. You can see which warehouse location has how many number of stocks that I was talking about. So this is coming from your like our inventory table. It's our inventory summary. So right now, whatever inventory I have, 15% of them is reserved, so which means order for 15% has already been accepted, and in few upcoming working days we'll be delivering this. So out of 100%, 15% has already been reserved, or you can say sold. Quarantine, it's these number of like shoes, and you can say our product has cannot pass the quality check. So out of 100% of my inventory, 5% is stale. So yeah, it's not good, but okay. You can see quarantine model. This is actually an interesting one. So if you can see this 5% is also break down into the model numbers, and we can see it's kind of ideally like equally distributed. So it's not like one of my factories or one of my model is failing my quality checks. It could be a shipment issue and all, but it's distributed. So this is what like and logistics spend trends, like it's a line chart. It's actually very beautiful. So you can see if you see on this day you have spent this much of amount for your logistic partners, FedEx, DHL. So just by seeing this, so you can see if I just need to have in my a query in my mind, okay, for 19th, how much I have spent for DHL, I can just go ahead and see. And I just need to write any queries and everything. So this is a good way of presenting it to your stakeholder. First of all, very beautiful, so you can impress them as well. So yeah, this is what like I have created based on the standard ones that you can play. You have your data, you have the capabilities of Kibana, and you can just create magic out of it. One last thing that I would like to show before I rest my voice is once you have created it, it's just not only that you have created it, you need to come here and see every time, log in into Kibana and everything. You can do it. You can share your dashboard with your fellow developers so they can also access it, right? You can copy the link, share it with them. They need access to Kibana, of course, to seeing that. But for your stakeholders, what you can do, you can export a PDF summary out of it, right? But if you want it in this way, you can have it PNG. And one second, yeah, before like instead of that, you can also schedule it. So I want my whole dashboard summary to be exported in PDF format. If you want, you can toggle out this print format. If you want it to be print in paper and present it into files and all, you can schedule it, okay, for this day, which date, time zone, repeat daily, right? So every day in some this time, your dashboard, whatever you are seeing on your dashboard will be exported and you can send it to a person, so your stakeholder. Let's say I wanted to send it to my admin at hyperflex.co. So I wanted this summary to be sent it to my admin so that they can see what's going on and if they want to make any decisions. So yeah, this is all. This is not actually all. This is all for this demo. We do have a lot more to offer when it comes to Kibana and data analytics, but due to the limitations of time, this is what we can, like, I would have to show you this time, but you can, if you want to see more, please check out our previous sessions and do follow us for our upcoming session. With that being said, let's go on to our slides again. And yeah, what you can do next, once you have this, you can create alerts. You can create your anomaly detections, uh, exporting your data, like as I said. So alerting and anomaly detection is actually the real next steps and that you should have done. So you can create your alerts. Okay, if I am getting uh, this much of orders returned in a day, I should be alerted, right? So you can have it in place. You can configure your alerts. We have covered it in our previous session in depth, actually, how you can create an alert and have a mail sent to a particular person if this alert got triggered, or you can also have it on your Slack, your pager duty, your Teams, anything can configure. So please check it out. Anomaly detection, we have also covered. We'll be covering it in upcoming sessions as well. So yeah, these are the next steps that you can do to automate all your monitoring in real time. And with that being said, that's what like I have to share. But now the floor is open for any questions if you guys have.
Everyone, you can drop whatever questions that you have into the chat, and Parivesh is here, and he can answer everything for you.
Let me stop sharing. I think Dhruvi, you can share your screen again.
Yes.
Okay. The database, it's possible to upload data in CSV file. Thank you, Krishnan, for answering that. Yes, and as it is possible to upload your CSV files using the bit wizard. Uh, yeah, stop sharing. Let me
Mm.
share this one
Yeah,
sec.
I can share.
Oh, hope you can see my screen. So you can just go ahead, search for upload here, and this will go to this wizard which we call, you can see upload to an existing index. You can select, so content orders which we have created, you just need to select either where it's from your device or your Google Drive. It's for my browser. You can also drag and drop here, and the supported formats are PDF, CSV, tags, log files, and JSON, and you can just upload it and it will do all the transformation on your index if you have any ingest pipeline attached to it, and you can see your data into your index. If you want to create a new index for your upload, you can just toggle down to this one, have your index return, name return, let's say test, upload your file, and you will have your index.
Thank you so much for that, Parivesh. We have another question that is how to address data discrepancies caused by time zone offsets to ensure
Mhm.
consistent date reporting across all dashboards.
Yep. So as I said, you can perform some visual transformations when you are having your data transferred into Elastic. We do it using ingest pipelines. So in your ingest pipelines, you have this option for selecting your time zone format, or you can say time format. The default one is ISO 8601. But if you want it to be UTC, you can change your zone. So let's say you are gathering data from different time zones, but your admins, or you can say what you want it to be converted into UTC, right? Or it's ISO 8601. So you can have it in place. Your time will be converted. You just need to have you will have a disparity, but you can take care of that. So I can standardize, okay, whatever I am coming, I am sitting in UTC, or let's say I am in Indian Standard Time Zone. I can select that I want to see my reports in that format.
Cool. Thank you. So the next question is, can we do prediction and forecasting using the supply chain data?
Yeah, we can do that. As I said, the one of the you can say features of ML, machine learning, anomaly detection, and ML forecasting in Kibana is that so you need to have your time series data available, which we have just done. It you can train your ML models, which is out of the box for Kibana, and that can be trained on your historical data, and then that can forecast your trends for it. Also, it's not the only option. There are a couple of other options which is not directly like related to the out of the box solutions. You can have any models. If you want, just not want any out of the box model, you want a forecasting models out there, you can import it into your Elasticsearch. That is the whole. It's not just only related to supply chain. You can do it on any data. It's a good thing to be covered, but yeah, it's a bit complex. You can have any open source model, and with the latest release with our Elastic, you can do that.
Thanks, Sachin, for helping on that question as well, and thanks, Parivesh. I don't see any more questions, so I think we can wrap it up. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. And if you are interested in hosting a webinar or a podcast, so at Hyperflex, we usually host webinars, podcasts very frequently. So if you're interested in joining us for that, please reach out to us at our marketing at hyperflex.co, or you can connect to us over LinkedIn. So, looking forward to collaborating with you, and thank you so much for joining today's session.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ruby.